What's up guys, my name is Brock, you're watching The Modest Man, and today we're talking about 7 must-have wardrobe items for winter. As they say in the North, winter is coming. In fact, depending on when you're watching this, winter might already be here. And of course, the best time to prepare for winter is before it arrives. You know, you don't want to be scrambling to find a pair of warm boots or a jacket after it's already cold and snowy outside. So in no particular order, here are my 7 winter essentials for men. Okay, number 1 is the casual winter coat. Obviously, it depends a little bit on where you live and how old you are and your lifestyle, but for most guys, it's gonna make sense to have a casual winter jacket and a formal winter jacket. Now, when it comes to casual jackets, there are all kinds, there's different brands, weights, price points, styles, but I personally think that the parka is a great choice for most guys. I searched pretty thoroughly for a parka that was slim fit, insulated, so very warm for, you know, below freezing temperatures and wouldn't break the bank. And I ended up with this one from Alpha Industries. So this is the Alpha Industries Slim Fit N3B Parka. I got it on Amazon on sale. Got a bunch of different colors. This is like a green gray color. And of course I'll link to this jacket and everything I talk about down in the description. What I love about this parka is that the sleeves aren't too long. And for what it is, you know, a somewhat bulky piece of outerwear, it's actually not all that bulky. So, you know, parkas by nature are going to be thick, they're going to be heavy, but compared to other brands, this actually is pretty fitted. Now, I did a full video review of this jacket, so you can go check that out if you want more information. This is the extra small size, but I do think that the parka is a great choice for a casual winter coat for any guy, including shorter guys or smaller guys. And I really like this particular one from Alpha Industries. You know, you can wear this with jeans, chinos, corduroys, or really any sort of casual outfit. Okay, number 2 is the formal winter jacket. Now, parkas are great, but they are very casual. So if you work in a business formal setting or you have formal events that you need to go to, like wearing a suit and tie, you should probably have a formal piece of outerwear for winter. Now, the wool top coat is the perfect choice. I have 2 wool top coats. One is a dark gray color and one is this camel color. They're both from Banana Republic. And the only alteration that I needed with these was to get the sleeve shortened a little bit. I think it costs about $40 a piece, and in my opinion, that is money well spent. When it comes to top coats fit, I prefer something very slim fit. The only thing you have to look out for is the overall length and then the width of the shoulder. So if you're gonna be wearing a top coat over a suit jacket or a sport coat, you wanna make sure that when you try it on, it can actually fit over that jacket. And in terms of the overall length, I want them to hit right around mid-thigh. I don't like coats that go, you know, down to the knee or past the knee. I think, especially for shorter guys, they just end up making you look shorter. But yeah, I mean, if you have a parka and a wool top coat, you're pretty much covered for any situation during the winter, no matter how cold or how casual or formal the setting is. Okay, item number 3, winter boots. Now, depending on where you live, you might be able to get away with wearing your regular boots all year round, but if you do live in a place that gets a true winter, you know, really cold and snow and slush and ice, you're gonna need a pair of actual winter boots. These are going to be fully lined, insulated, waterproof. You know, these are the kind of boots that you could step ankle deep in a puddle of slush, icy slush, and you won't feel a thing. I like these. These are from Sorel. I don't know if it's Sorel or Sorel, but I'm gonna call it Sorel. I got these from, I think, Zappos. They were on sale. And compared to other similar boots from this brand and other brands, I thought these actually had kind of a low profile. So they are winter boots. They're going to be bulkier and chunkier than like a Chelsea boot or a dress boot or something like that. And I probably wouldn't want to wear these all day just because they are kind of thick and heavy, but they're perfect for like commuting to work. You can change your shoes when you get to work. They're perfect for, you know, going for a walk or going for a hike during the wintertime, shoveling snow. And I think that if you live like on the East Coast or like anywhere that gets like a true winter and a lot of snow, you do need a pair of winter boots. Now, if these aren't your style, I will link to a couple of alternatives down in the description that just have a different look and feel, but that are also waterproof and insulated. But for the record, I do love this pair from Sorel. Okay, item number 4 is a pair of warm fitted gloves. Unfortunately, like so many menswear accessories, a lot of gloves are one size fits all, or as I like to call it, one size fits some. And it sucks wearing gloves that are too big because you have all this extra space in the fingertips and it makes doing anything with your hands a very clumsy, frustrating experience. So I think it's really important to have at least one pair of gloves that fit really well. These are actually custom from a company that's no longer around, but you can find smaller size gloves anywhere, Amazon, Zappos. I'll link to a few options down in the description, but I think it's really important to have gloves that fit really well. Like these, my fingers go right to the end. You know, I feel like I have all the dexterity that I do without gloves on. I could drive, I could, zip up my coat, and they're very comfortable. These are leather, they're cashmere lined, so they're not really waterproof. I do have another pair that's better for like skiing and, shoveling snow and stuff like that, but these are good for just going out, and I could wear these with the parka, I could wear them with a top coat, casual, formal, whatever. But definitely if you have smaller hands or larger hands, look for gloves that are in your size. Don't settle for a one size fits all if it doesn't actually fit you. Seriously, if you haven't worn gloves that fit, you're missing out. So definitely, trust me on that one. Okay, number 5 is a versatile scarf. I never used to wear scarves until I did one day, and I haven't gone back. I really love them. They're super practical, they're functional. Most jackets leave your neck exposed, and a scarf, of course, covers that crucial area. They look great. Women love scarves. They're very attractive. They're a very cool accessory that, you can definitely pull off. Like if you haven't worn a scarf and you feel kind of funny wearing one, you don't think you can pull it off, trust me, just try it. You might love it. Now, you don't need to own 10 or 15 or 20 scarves unless you want to. I actually usually just wear these two. These are pretty neutral. This one's like a brown charcoal, and this one's like a light gray and white. And these go with anything because they're neutral colors. Now, the one thing you have to look out for is scarves are usually a little long. So what you want to do is avoid wearing them just draped over your neck because they're going to be too long for a shorter guy. So what I like to do is the once around, just like that. Or my personal favorite way to wear a scarf is the Parisian knot, just like that. So I think those are both great ways to wear a scarf if you're a shorter guy. But either way, just make sure you have one or two versatile neutral scarves in your wardrobe so you're ready for winter. Okay, number 6 is head and ear protection. Now, you kind of have two choices here. You can go with a hat or you can go with some sort of earmuff. I actually prefer the earmuff because, and it doesn't matter right now as much because I have kind of short hair, but when you have a nice haircut that you've styled and then you put a hat on, it kind of ruins your hair. And so by the time you get to your office or whatever, you take your hat off and your hair is all crazy. So I kind of like the earmuffs. These are from Amazon. They're super cheap. I have a couple pairs. And you just wear them like this. And they keep your ears very warm. Definitely enough for most environments. I'd say if it's like below 0 or something, you're gonna wanna wear a hat too. But these will have you covered for most environments. And they don't mess up your hair. Now, if you do wanna wear a hat, of course, there are some great options, and I'll link to a few options down below in the description. I really like this one from Huckberry. It's just a wool knit hat, very warm, a nice kind of green color. And, so I do wear this when it's really, really cold outside and the earmuffs just aren't cutting it. Okay, and number 7, last but not least, long underwear. Now, I remember the first time that I experienced very, very cold temperatures. I went up to Maine with a couple of friends and my brother to do some snowmobiling and skiing, and it was like -15 outside, and that was the coldest I had ever felt. And I remember going outside to get something from the car. When I first stepped out the door, I was like, it's not that bad. 10 seconds later, I was like, wow, I actually have to get inside. This is dangerous. And so if you're gonna be outside in teens or single digits or sub-zero temperatures, you should have some base layers. Now, since you usually wear multiple layers up top, like an undershirt, button-up, sweater, jacket, I usually only wear base layers on the bottom. These don't fit super tight like compression pants. They're also not loose like jogging pants. They're somewhere in between. And I think it's really important to have even just one pair of base layer pants that you can wear under your jeans. And if you wear very slim fit pants like I do, make sure that your base layer is pretty tight without being restrictive or uncomfortable. And that's it, guys. Those are my 7 winter essentials for men. I'd love to hear from you. What would you add to this list? What can't you live without during the winter time? Let me know down in the comments. If you have questions, feel free to ask. Until next time, stay warm. Just kidding. Stay stylish.